Hi everyone, Azriel Knight here, and welcome to another episode of the Darkroom Night. Today is a pretty short one. It is simple, yet it's one of the things that people seem to fear the most about starting to develop their own film. You've just shot a roll, you've come home, and now you have to load it onto a spool and put it into a tank in pitch black. What happens if you drop the film? What happens if you can't get the film on the spool but it's outside of the canister? Your hands are sweating, you've been in the dark for what seems like an hour, and you just can't get the film on there. So I'm going to show you how I do it, and I find that this is the easiest method for me. You're going to see in the comments that people might disagree with me on certain aspects of it, but the truth of the matter is that I get results that I'm happy with. And as long as you get results you're happy with, that is a really good starting point. I really hope I can dispel any stigmas around the difficulty of developing your own film for the first time. Hopefully after you see this video, you'll be inspired to start developing your own film. But with all that being said, let's get started. First thing that I'm going to do is show you all the parts. So in case you find one of these used, like in a thrift store or at a garage sale or on Craigslist or something like that, you'll know you're getting all the pieces that you need. First off is the lid. The lid is for keeping the chemicals inside during inversions. Next is the agitation stick. And the agitation stick is in case you don't want to do inversions. Now I know there's some controversy on inversions versus agitation, but I'm going to show you an advertisement straight from Paterson themselves, and it clearly states that you can use agitation or inversion. How effective each is up for debate, but at the end of the day, it's up to you. Next is the lid. And this twists off counterclockwise. You'll hear a snap. Just comes right out. Then you have your spool and center column. Center column slips right in. I think you can really put it in either side, but I put it in on this side rather than this side. And then you have the tank itself. So when you're putting it all together, this flat piece goes bottom down. Then your lid, and you'll just turn clockwise till you feel a click. Place your agitation stick in until you feel it go down. Move it back and forth a few times to make sure it's in there, and then place the lid on. Now when you're getting ready to load a roll of film into it, you want to get everything set up so you know where it is in the dark. Everything needs to be pitch black. And you'll know if it's pitch black if you are in the room for 5 minutes and you still can't see anything. So this is the way that I do it. I'll have my scissors here that you're going to need for cutting the film. You can use a can opener or you can rip it with your bare hands. I will show you how to rip it with your bare hands in a moment, and then your film will be right here. And then you just want to get a feel for where everything is so you're not searching for it in the dark. Okay, now I'm going to show you how I load a roll of film. I was kind of debating on how I should show you how I load the roll of film, and I figured the best way to do it is to do it naturally without my eyesight, and to do it all in one take. So I'm going to show you that now and explain what I'm doing in more detail. The first thing that I'm doing here is taking the film out of the canister, and like I mentioned, I do this with my bare hands. Basically, I just jam my thumb in there and I just peel back. You can also use a bottle opener It is super easy. It's just like opening up a bottle of soda. You'll see other tutorials where people will put the film lead into the spool right away. I don't do that. I actually unspool the entire roll of film into my other hand, and the main reason for that is because it's easier for me. I know where all the film is, and the film won't twist if I let it hang. I'm less likely to drop it, and if the film is tight, it's going to be tighter in the center, so you're going to want to release that tightness by having it go in first. Then the tightness goes back into the center. Now I'm feeling for the corners and I'm rounding them off with the scissors. This will make it easier to catch on to the ball bearings of the spool. Now I'm feeling for the entry point where the ball bearings are and where you want to initially stick the film. There's only one place where it can go in. I feel with my fingers, and once I find it, I make sure that they are aligned. Because the spool ratchets, you want to make sure that they're both lined up, and then you're going to take the film and pull it through till it's past the ball bearings. Then I place my pinky finger here to stabilize the other end of the film while I ratchet onto the spool. I then run my hand over the side to make sure the entire roll is on. I feel for the flat end of the center column, then I place it in the tank. Then I add the lid and turn clockwise until I feel a click. Then I place the agitation stick inside, which isn't necessary, but I do it anyway. And then I add the top cover. Now when you're finished developing your film, you're going to take the spool out, and you're going to twist like so. And there you'll have your film. And that's basically it. I hope that I had good angles there. I hope you enjoyed me doing it blindfolded. I wanted to do it blindfolded because I felt like that's the only natural way for me to load the roll. I haven't actually seen myself load a roll of film before, so I thought that was pretty entertaining. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, perhaps you'll join me on Patreon. I have a brand new feature on there. It is a Discord server, and starting only at $1, you can join us and have a chat. There are several topics to discuss, photography and non-photography related critiques, gear sales, all sorts of stuff. The chat, surprisingly, even to me, is always active. There is always somebody in the chat willing to have a gab, and I hope to see you there. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and until next time, stay classic.